Welcome to South Africa's Got Talent, Bitcoin. You are currently in the golden zone. Golden buzzer for you. Woo! What's up, Banter fam? As you can see over here, I am showing you something that is massive, that Bitcoin is in the golden zone. It is a massive range. I'm sure we have been through so much over the last few months, but I do want to show you something big. I want to get the conviction. I want you to understand where we're still at in the markets. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the market cycle, where we are emotionally right now. I'm sure you're angry. I woke up angry, and I like to call this the stop loss market. But it does make you quite angry, this market. So I'm going to go through the emotions on that as well. Then I'm going to go through the low time frame of where Bitcoin is right now. It is still at $19,000. In that area. We're going to have a look at the stock markets quick, and we're going to look at some short-term trades for you guys. No more wasting times. James, hit that button.
Click, click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click, click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click, click, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Click. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper. Click, click. Enter the sniper. Enter the sniper.
The sniper, Sheldino. Everybody's here. Yo, Banter fam. What's happening? How are we doing? I know the market's shitty and it's quite boring. I think we do need to add another emotion to the Wall Street cheat sheet. You know, we have the emotional cycle. We need to add boring. So I'm hoping that I'm adding some excitement to your life. I feel like dancing. I feel like lifting the emotions up. How we feeling out there? Please pop in the comments. How we feeling? Where we from? What's happening out there? I know it's boring as hell. So I will try my best to be as entertaining as possible while we wait to make money. If you are brand new, smash a like. Smash the subscribe button. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, guys. I have started a new thing on Twitter. I am taking trades on Twitter as well as we speak. It's not for the trading competition. That is in Discord and all of that we are doing. Remember, we do have the trading competition. To join that, you got to have a ByBit or BitGet account using our referral link below. You can then click on the links below the video and you're able to join the competition. Use the competition to rate yourself. It's not about winning the prize money. It's actually a great way to have a bit of competitiveness and to practice for yourself. Ultimately, we are practicing for when the time of money comes back, because right now, as I said, we are in the golden zone. But as I was saying, Twitter, make sure straight after the show, I am posting the updates on the short stoppages. I've actually took $130,000 position yesterday. I did get a small stoppage on them. Now I'm taking a $200,000 position on these, and I'm showing you how I am doing this. I'm showing you how stoppages mean nothing, because if I do get stopped out, I'm actually lower than where my stoppages are. My next trades are way bigger than what this trade was actually going to give me. I'm going to show you power of that. So make sure you are on my Twitter. As I said, guys, to get to the competition, you look to sign up on our ByBit or our BitGet links. You will find these below, and you can join the competition. I think we've got over 1,200 or something people in the competition. I think it's actually 1,400 now. Make sure you join our Discord. We have the VIP. You can get into the VIP by having our links, and we've got the BBS markets. Okay, guys, big show today, massive show. I got tons of things to get through with you guys. So let's start with the first one, which is the conviction one, to understand where are we again. Now, we do have a very powerful tool. We've heard of Fibonacci and these things. And what Fibonacci is, I don't know exactly what it is. I just know how powerful it is. It's got something called the 618 and the 786. And this for me has always been a very powerful golden zone indicator. What it does is it does not give you the time frame of how long it takes, but it's always giving you historically the area of where millionaires are born. Very simple. The area of where people are building and loading up their accounts at these areas. And historically, it's always done magnificent things. Now, the way you do this is you take your fib tool. Let me just show you a little drawing here before I get into it. If the market has moved up in this area and it's on its way down, you take your fib tool, that little one over there, let me highlight it. You take it from the bottom to the top, and you will get your areas. Now, you will see lots of different fibs and stuff. Click on this and just erase all the other mess. The only ones you really want on here is the 618 and the 786. Okay, now we know how to do that. Cool. Now, let me show you what this is. So I am on the monthly chart on Bitcoin. And what I did is I took data all the way back. So I'm using the fib and I'm using the monthly stochastic RSI. So what I did is I took the previous low we had from the 2014 run. And what I did from that is I took the fib from the bottom all the way to the top of the 2017 run. And I wanted to see where are the fibs. Let me get rid of this little one. There we go. Where did we line up to and where did we go after that run? Bitcoin went all the way to $20,000 and then pulled all the way back to $3,000. Now, if you have a look over here, it came perfectly. At first held the 618, but then it came all the way down and it tested the 786 perfectly. Now, what it does over here is it does show that it takes a little bit of time on the monthly when we do enter these specific areas, but it's always held it really well. Now, if you're a smart investor and you built a portfolio between $3,000 to the $6,000 range, it is a big range. But ultimately, if you built it in that area, after that, you would have made basically 200% gains, of the high of 14K or anything like that. But you would have soon see after what you would have made. But so we would have had that first one. So ultimately, as an investor, you want to be loading up in the area of the golden zone on the monthly. This is taking extremely high time frame data, and this is where you are loading up a portfolio. Secondly, you got the stochastic RSI. It shows how much time it took in this area, but if you have an oversold stochastic RSI and you are in a golden zone, it's always been an incredible time for you to invest and to try build as much as you can in that time. You've always made a lot of money after doing that. Now, secondly, after that, we then had another run up. I took from the bottom to the top. Where's the 618 and 786? Over here. Now, one thing that is important is the closing monthly is the most important. Sometimes you do have wicks. Why are wicks out there? For stop losses, for liquidations, for these sort of things. And you can see how price went slightly below, but closed ultimately in the golden zone. Okay, so what you would have done is if you loaded up in this area of around 6,000, soon after that, you would have 10x'd your accounts and Bitcoin then went to 60K. Now, I'm going to show you the other half of the golden zone as well, but very important. Then, after 69K, we started this big ass drop, right? Very similar. The market has done this before. We've seen these drops. Difference now is we're on a very much bigger range, way bigger range than what we were. That's why it looks a lot more aggressive than what it's been previously. Where are we right now? If I take the low of 3,000 all the way to $69,000, incredible gains. Where are we now? We are right between the 618 and the 786. Second indicator, which is now confirming, where is the monthly stochastic RSI? Let me show you over there so you can see it. There is the monthly stochastic RSI. Previously, the last time it was there, 3K to 6K Bitcoin is where we were at that stage. Now we are here again. The difference is we are sitting basically between 15K and 26K. That's the range. Now, remember this previous range over here was 3,000 to 6,000. This range over here was 4,000 to 8,000. So it is big ranges. It's literally a 50% or 100% range that we are in. And it's showing the exact same thing again. We are basically sitting between a 15K Bitcoin and a 27K Bitcoin as the range. Very similar to a 70-80%. So the same percentages as what it's been before is the exact same percentages that we are in now. The only difference is it does take a little bit of time in these zones. So once again, you want the conviction of where the hell you are at in the market and why it's so important to not leave throughout these times. But we are in the golden zone perfectly again now. It is showing a possible 15K. Now, I'm going to explain why a 15K could still be possible. Obviously, we have previous area of the closing candle of the 2017 run, which is sitting around 14, 15K. So we know that the last drop of, well, the last low that we made is basically the late 17,000s. And we know that's major support right now. We dropped that one, 14, 15K. Now, the Fib says that that is still possible. Definitely. So we have support there, and we have the Fib showing that as well. And we know that the RSI can still go a little bit longer here until we basically cross. Now, do we understand the golden zone, guys, and where we at? As an investor and as a guy that wants to become a guy or lady or anyone that wants to become a millionaire, this is where the millionaires have always been built. Always. In the history of since Bitcoin's been in existence, if you built in the golden zone on the monthly, very high time frame, and you had conviction, and you stayed in, and you tried as much, and you learned, and you do all these things, then this was always the time. So I hope you have a lot of conviction. Now, the second way I want to quickly show you how to use this tool, a very important one, is you can also use the Fib in the other direction, okay? Where you basically take it from the top to the bottom, because you want to see where's the golden zone on the other side. I've taught you the golden zone down. Now I show you on the way up. And the way you do that is you take the same tool, you take it from the top to, let's say, the 786 or wherever we are now, once we know where the low is. And you'll see how it gives you the next golden zone. And it's basically showing that we could be here for a while, but after this, the next golden zone is the 50, 60K. This can be 2024. It can be way later, okay? But I do want to show you the power of the golden zone and what it actually does. Now, if you look at this previous high over here, if you wanted to know we were in a very strong downtrend, where could we go to from there? You would take it from the top to the bottom, and look how it hit the 618 golden zone perfectly. So you can use this in either direction. That's where you want to take profits. You want this. If you want to work out where's the golden zone to take profits next, you can set these up on all your altcoins, on any of the tokens that you are in, or anything like that. Extremely powerful. Right now, we are focused on the accumulating, on the buying, because we are not in a selling area right now. We're in accumulation area of where we're at. Now, secondly, let me show you this chart over here. Let's find it. Not that one. There's a lot of cool stuff happening at the moment, guys, with, let's get it up. Where is this chart? I just drew it up right before the show. Of where we are. Let's see. Where did this one go? There we go. Cool. Now, we're speaking about a possible 15K. Why would that happen? Now, we do need to add a boring section to the market cycle. But again, you have to go and see where the market is feeling emotionally. That's how this market drives. That's how the market runs. That's how everything happens. And we've been through this, guys. We've had the euphoria. This was the 69K. Then we had the 55K. Then we had the 40K. Then the 35K. Then the 25K. And all the way down to the wick, which was the $17,000 region. We then had a little push up to 24,000. And then we are now coming all the way back down to the lower range. Now, one thing that is quite interesting is sometimes, and it shows on the market cycle, that the anger can be lower than this area over here. If we had to go look at that right now of where we're at, we are still above that previous low. So right now, we are still here, and it is showing that sometimes the anger can go low. They really want to piss the market off. And if that did have to happen, I would look at something of the 15, 16K area. So emotionally, we got to basically remember that there is still a lower support that we can test if they really want to piss the people off. So that is still there. It does not guarantee that that does happen, because ultimately we do have Bitcoin bouncing a lot in one area. And even though it's still a crappy, boring market, it's still holding 18K right now. Even though the stocks have been dropping and stuff, like Bitcoin's still holding it. So we always got to be prepared for that. Now, what I do see though, is if you look at the emotion cycle, is we have not seen this yet. Now, you know, I've been speaking about a temporary little push up at the end of the year and a temporary little these things, because I have so many RSIs resets on the higher time frame that a 6-week or 4-week push to the upside makes sense at some point. You know, some sort of push to the upside will make sense. And basically, if I put it on the emotion cycle, it's showing this little push over here. Now, this little push does not show necessarily much higher than the previous one. So if the push had to happen at 24K, at 25K, you know, something like that could make sense. And then remember what I spoke about early next year. I think the stock markets are going to hurt. I think beginning of next year is going to be quite ugly. I think we still remain in the golden zone, but I think it gets quite messy because I still feel that we are more angry right now than depressed. And what would happen here is a little relief bounce to the upside, and then we really start the bear market where Bitcoin just does not move at all. And it just slowly goes down, slowly goes down. Last dip off, very similar to what happened in 2018. Remember, it stayed at $6,000 for 6 months. All of a sudden, it dropped to $3,000, and then we were on. From that, all of a sudden, we then started the rally back. And for me, if they really want to depress the market and depress everyone that's in it, they will make this drag for 6 months. They will literally make it just drag and drag and drag. It's a complete flush out. It's one of the hardest parts to be in this market when we do have that. And then the depression. Now, if I mark that up on the chart, it does look something like this for me. It's something like this, and it basically leads up to something previously that what Bitcoin's done before. Bitcoin, every 4 years, has had a bull run, okay? And it's stuck to that. So far, it's sticking to that method. And if that is so, 2024, that is basically when we basically start the next run, 2024, 2025. And if we do have to go in a whole year down, it is showing by the end of 2023 is when we can finally start even just getting back above 25, back above 30. So there is still a very hard part of the market to go through. I'm still expecting this little push. The way I do track that push is this last little trend line that I have, the last important one that I have over here, just to get, because if I had to match out to the market cycle, we should do something like this, go to this area at some point, and then the real damage starts, and the real depression happens, and these sort of things start to run. And it's actually nice to see. We could plot this down. We could see where the high was. We could see all the different emotions. We could see the panic here. And we could see the capitulation too, where it just continues to just drop. So it is nice that we can actually see the Wall Street cheat sheet here and see that it is showing very much similar than what it's done previously. We're waiting. I'm seriously, guys, because if I go into the weekly, let's just see if I can put on my RSI. The weekly for me has one last push up. It has a push up to get to the oversold area. I've taught you guys this. And for me, emotionally and where we're at, I think we're in a bear market for a while. And this next push up is a serious decision maker for me to get a big part of my portfolio out. So firstly, that I have money to survive the depression, survive those areas. And obviously, I can attempt building as much as I can throughout this time. But we cannot rush that time. It is going to take time. It is going to take a long period of time. It is going to take conviction. But you got to still remember that when depression and anger is in, was always when the millionaires are born. Very important. Guys, smash a like. Let me know if you do enjoy this. Pop in the comments if you're enjoying this sort of view. Then once we've had that little push up to the upside, then we start the death. I think by April, in that time, it will be a time for us to re-enter, to restart building. It sort of matches up to where depression can get really bad, and then we can start building up again. So we've got a long journey to go through together. We have to get our short-term trading gain on. The only problem is right now it is so hard to trade short-term. It is quite a tough market to be doing that. So that makes a lot of sense there. Last thing I did want to show before I get into short time frame. Oh, look at ETH. It's only been there twice. The last time ETH was $60. Where's it there? $60 to $80. The last time we had this RSI here. And golden zone. Golden zone as we speak, and we have RSI sitting there. It can still take some time, but use this tool, guys. Extremely powerful. Now, let's go into our shorter time frame and go look at where we are now currently with Bitcoin. I do want to excite you guys with one thing here. I do want to excite you. Sniper School, pumping at the moment. Look at all the stuff I'm teaching. All the reversal patterns. Let's actually go through this for 2 secs. Guys, when we're moving in one direction, we do these continuation patterns where it's like these flags, where we come down, we form the flag, and then we break down. We form the flag, and then we break down. Okay, so you got continuation patterns. It's the same thing when the market's going up. We shoot up, we go sideways, we form a flag, we break out. Very similar to this pattern here and this one. These are called continuation patterns. Then you get reversal patterns. Reversal patterns is when the trend changes. It's not continuing in that momentum. And the last time was the perfect example was the May crash last year, where we hit 1, 2, 3, triple bottom in that area. Previously, before that, we hit the head and shoulders, reversal pattern. So it's very important for you guys to understand these reversal patterns and when are we in a reversal pattern and when are we in a continuation pattern. Extremely interesting. Same over here, double top, double top. Right now, what pattern is Bitcoin forming? It has bounced 3 times in the same area. 2, 3. It can be a bear flag. It can be. You see over here? It definitely can be. If we lose this low, it gets ugly fast. It can go to the 12, 14Ks, things we spoke about before. But if we do manage to hold this and get that little push up that we've been waiting for, it is looking at a possible triple bottom. 1, 2, 3 times. So now we know how important the 18K level actually is in the market. Very interesting, guys. Can't wait for Sniper School. I've been putting my absolute heart into it, and I think it's going to be really cool. Let's just see where are my short time frame charts that I wanted to show you guys. There we go. Cool. Now let's go into shorter time frames quick, and let's go have a look where we are as we speak. So now that I've gone through, let's just see here first. 8-hour RSI reset, 4-hour reset, 12-hour. Where are we? Still on its way down. So it's showing temporary bounce for the day, but ultimately we're probably going to go sideways for a little while longer. But let's speak about where we are now. So let's go to 12-hour. Let's get the RSI out of the way. So now we know market cycle, golden zone, all of that, how important the $18,000 area is. And that is our last major support. If we drop that down, our next support is 16,500 and the $14,000 range. Okay, we know that. Then what we have is this last resistance trend. The one that I'm speaking about emotionally, we break out, we get that push up, and then we go into depression. We give that last bit of hope, that last bit of hope, and then it completely wipes out the market over a few months. Now, that for me is this trend line, is this major 10, the 12-hour and the daily trend line. And that is also a horizontal view. You could see what I've done. We're basically sitting at 19,200. My nearest low is my last support. My nearest high is my last resistance. My resistance is just outside of my trend resistance. I'm teaching you a few tools now. So that's showing that 19,700 is the area to break to start this leg up. Okay, the little leg up, we're looking at 22,700 and 25,000, the one we've been speaking about previously. That I don't think any further than any further than that. Sorry, let me have a quick sip of water. So I don't think any further than that right now because emotionally it's not showing me that. Weekly stochastic RSI, there's not much left to go. So I'm not thinking much above that. But ultimately, the break of 19,000, it breaks the resistance trend. And if we can secure the first higher high over here and break through horizontally, this can then take me to the next areas up there. We drop, obviously, the lows, and we go down to these lower entries down that sort of way. So we're sort of in the middle right now. I turn bullish, really bullish, because this is sort of the way I'm planning out. I do know there is a possibility on the anger, on the emotion chart that there could be a lower point first, make the guys really angry. But I am trying my best to see how I can build a position up to this area over here. Okay, that does mean I'm doing shorter time frame, tracking those trends, all of that up. From here, I want to be in. So by the time we can break this to start that leg, I can already protect myself, put all my stops in play. And basically, I can have the last ride in with as much of my accounts as possible so that I can offload into these areas. Offload, offload, offload. Get out, prep for depression, make sure I got money for the next year or two to survive on, and these sort of things. I'm using this as the next sort of leg up in the downside. So I'm using that to build up right now. We have the 4-hour and the 8-hour RSI reset. So if Bitcoin can, in this next little current pin bar candle we're forming now, if it can break through and get through the 19.7, that'll be great. I'm making sure I'm prepped for that, and I'm making sure I'm protecting myself below that sort of area. Otherwise, the 12-hour daily still got to come down, and we know the importance here. If we do drop 18, it's going to be quick here, make people really angry, and then we can make our way there, and then it is time to start the depression. A lot of different views today. I know it's a lot of information overload. But it's basically how I'm looking at things right now. Now you've got ETH in the same position. You have ETH with the previous support of basically $1,200, $1,200 is basically support. That, yes, we had a slight wick. For me, that's a stop loss wick. It's a liquidation wick. But $1,200 is basically my support, and my resistance is $1,400. So it's a little bit of a range. But as you can see here, we do have dominance spiking up quite a bit. It's been doing pretty well. So obviously, if Bitcoin breaks out, I think it goes Bitcoin solo. And that sort of makes sense when you come back to the ETH chart, that ETH still got, Bitcoin's a lot closer to the trend line than what ETH is. So do expect that if we do get that bullish breakout, that Bitcoin runs first, and then we get an altcoin push, and then it is time to prep yourself, because things could get ugly. Now, things could change at any point, guys. But this is how historically where we at, what we're looking at, and what should definitely or possibly happen throughout the markets. Let's look at where XRP is. XRP also, that was the previous support over there. Look at MATIC. MATIC's done really well. For me, guys, a lot of these altcoins, I'm still expecting this run. When Bitcoin hits that little rally, I'm expecting this run, and for me, it's an exit point for now. I don't want to exit right now. I do have the preparation of the 18K, and I'm trying to see how I can build more positions there. But ultimately, I'm using this next leg to prep myself for the next sort of run. So, guys, do me a favor, jump to the monthly, jump to the weekly, use the golden zone so you can be realistically of where we are to get that conviction back, to understand where we actually are with that. Use the monthly stochastic RSI, is very important, and use the emotion chart as well to see where we actually are. One thing you do need to know is you are in the damn right place, and this is where millionaires are born. It is hard, it sucks, it's boring, it's depressing, it makes you angry, but that's why I'm here, to dance and to give you that whole, golden buzzer, and to hopefully be some entertainment for you guys. I don't want you to stop. I want you to be millionaires. I want us to all succeed together. Let's just keep learning. I'm going to keep teaching. The school's going to drop, and we're going to keep doing it together. Love you lots, Banter fam, and I'll see you on tomorrow's show.